I know you're hungry and you're tired, but you got another hour, hour and a half in you?
Yes.
I mean, we're trying to get a bill passed. We're talking about human life. We're talking about heartbeats. We're talking about men that couldn't be here, that have traveled with me, the 80 trips that I made to D.C., that are laying in ICU or at home with IVs in them. We're talking about human suffering. We are at 990 people since 9/11 that have died.
Almost from day one, the radio broadcast was saying that the air was safe.
The concentrations are such that they don't pose a health hazard. We're going to make sure everybody's safe.
Everybody knows that Christy Todd Whitman did not tell the truth, and that the White House ordered her not to tell the truth.
After the third day, no one should have been permitted, whether they wanted to or not, to work there without respirators.
He would come home, he would take a little nap and go back, and the police department basically said there's no days off, it doesn't matter.
This is my original respirator that I got 10 days later. But before that, I didn't have anything.
When I went down to the job, we had absolutely nothing. We arrived on a boat, and I asked where all of our protective gear was. There was absolutely nothing.
Because BP says that they don't need respirators, they can't have them because they work for BP and it's BP's rules. You either don't wear the respirator or you don't have a job.
BP had two goals. One was to stop the flow of oil from the wellhead, and the other was to stop or reduce as much of the oil from coming on shore into the marshlands. So that was the excuse they used for using so much of the dispersant.
The chemicals we're talking about, the chemicals that are in the dispersants, have been documented to create cancer and create health effects. This is not conjecture.
I dealt with them on a daily basis, the federal officials. They were scared if they made a decision contrary to BP, that BP was going to tag that agency with a chunk of the liability.
There is no scientific evidence that dispersants can be effective in an oil spill of this magnitude, and nobody can guarantee they are safe. I fear we are repeating the same mistakes we made after 9/11 in my district, where thousands of responders and area residents are now sick after the failure of the federal government to provide adequate oversight or enforcement to prevent exposure to toxic chemicals in the air.
Vice President, sir, 9/11 responders, help us pass our bill tomorrow. Help 9/11 responders.
I ordered a lot of people to work there. A lot of people I worked with got sick. But these guys may not make it.
Calendar number 641, H.R. 847, an act to amend the Public Health Service Act to extend and improve protections and services to individuals directly impacted by the terrorist attack in New York City on September 11, 2001, and for other purposes.
The question is of passage of the bill as amended. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Started getting sick at April 29th. They went out on the water. David's been sick on and off all summer, all the way down to brown fluid leaking out of his ears for almost 3 months on and off. People are going misdiagnosed and untreated all across the Gulf Coast.
What do you do? Every time your heart goes absolutely crazy, you go to the ER. Every time you have a serious brain fog and you can't see, you go to the ER. Every time you start bleeding internally, you go to the ER. We would live at the ER, and we don't have the money for that.
All we're asking the FDA and the EPA to do is their job. Their job is to protect the American public and the consumer.
And what are they saying? There's no problem. No problem here. And that's why the people are really in trouble down there.